Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie.
Yep.
The movie that's been revised to actually look like Sonic the Hedgehog.
That's right.
And it does look like people are interested in the movie because the tracking for this movie is going up considerably. Look at that. Imagine that.
You mean going up instead of going down?
Going up instead of going down. Yeah, after the horror that was the original trailer for Sonic the Hedgehog, they went back to square one, redesigned Sonic, and now people actually want to see the movie.
Right, and I think people, if you're thinking about going, you should go for the simple reason that here's a studio that actually listened to the fans and fixed it. So, you know, that's rewarded.
It should be rewarded.
Just, I mean, even if it turns out to be not that great of a movie, the point was they tried to make it better for the fans because it mattered to them.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that. Before we get into it, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We're at over 90,000 subs, hoping for 100,000 soon.
Yes, thank you.
And yeah, I'm actually surprised because I didn't think the movie was going to track that well. I really didn't. Even with the changes, I was like, I don't know if this is going to track very well or not, but it keeps going up. The tracking keeps going up. Now, this is coming from comingsoon.net, Sonic the Hedgehog tracking for 41 to 47 million. 4-day opening weekend.
Okay.
That's not Star Wars money.
Okay, so it's going to be over Valentine's Day, then President's Day is the following Monday, so it is going to get a 4-day window.
Yeah, so according to the numbers, Paramount Pictures' Sonic, featuring the adaptation of the classic video game, is tracking to open between 41 and 47 million. That's actually pretty good for it being, you know, kind of a C-list.
Yeah, you know, and we saw with like the Detective Pikachu, there's definitely an audience, you know, for these kind of movies.
Yeah, as long as they're done
right.
well. Yeah, as long as you do video game adaptations well, because up until Detective Pikachu, I think it was very, very hit or miss. I don't know how this one's going to be honest. I mean, the trailer looked kind of cool, but the fact that they listened to the fans, like you were saying, I think that needs to be rewarded. I think people should at least go check it out.
Right, because you have all these different comics, especially, and things like that, that are, you know, pandering to certain groups of people. The people they're pandering to don't support what they pander. You know what I mean? That they demand this stuff, they change it for those people, and they don't support it, and then they're like, why did it get canceled? It must be because of this or that or whatever, and it's because, frankly, there was no money. Is usually why. So if you really want something and you're screaming about it and you want it changed, then you need to make sure you support that, or otherwise it's going to go the way, you know, by the wayside.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, all Hollywood understands is money or lack of money. Now, it's interesting. I did not realize that the executive producer is Tim Miller, who worked on Terminator Dark Fate.
He needs to be redeemed.
maybe this is his redemption. Maybe Tim Miller can be redeemed through Sonic the Hedgehog. The fact they actually did listen to the fans, I think, again, it should be rewarded. Now, the weird thing about this is, after they greenlit all the changes, and I know there were a lot of complaints online about how the animators are going to have to work, you know, so much harder, which I get that.
Yeah,
I get that they
do agree with that, yeah.
Yeah, but they did push the movie back a couple of months, but they shut the animation studio down. I'm not laughing because it's funny. It's not funny, but it's just ironic.
They used them and then shut them down.
Yeah, they shut them down right before Christmas, you know, and we did a video on that, and that was kind of shocking, but, you know, they were in Vancouver, which is very expensive.
But that was just one of their projects. It wasn't like it was because of Sonic, right?
Right. No, I don't think it was because of Sonic. I think it was just logistics. It was a very expensive city to be in, and I mean, let's face it, a lot more animation is being outsourced overseas because it's expensive. And they do have other offices around the world, and I think that's kind of what's going on. So the company
they shut
did go
their
out
Vancouver office.
Just the Vancouver office.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it wasn't because of Sonic.
No. Well, I don't think so, but then part of me is like, did it go into overtime, and the overtime sort of...
I don't know, but if that's the case, then the company and the people behind Sonic should have rewarded that studio for, you know, busting it out and making it right.
They should have.
They were just following directions the first time, you know?
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know how the movie is going to be. I do think the second trailer looked considerably better. You know, and now they're talking, you know, Baby Sonic. They had Baby Sonic.
Yeah, what the heck?
Yeah, let's see what we got here. But yeah, they were talking about Baby Sonic, and
I thought that was a joke.
No, it's not a joke.
I thought it was they just put that for Japanese audiences.
No, it was. I guess there's gonna be a Baby Sonic in the movie. This is what he looked like originally, you know, and I think this is a much better
Yeah.
much better version than this. I mean, this looked like the weird. We were talking about. We did a Sonic Adventure 2 live stream on the gaming channel last night. We were talking about the weird Sonic games. They had one where Sonic turned into a werewolf.
I remember.
And you know, Sonic Unleashed, I think it was. So yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes. Now, also in Sonic news, there's a new music video.
Yeah, it's something.
It's something. Wiz Khalifa did a music video, and I gotta tell you, this thing is like the most 90s thing ever. I mean, it even starts with him dusting off the Genesis.
That was cute. I think that was really cute.
It looks like it could be. It looks like it could be a Sega commercial from the 1990s.
It does.
And then he gets sucked into the TV 90s style, and he's running with Sonic the Hedgehog. You know. So he gets his own theme song. I mean, it looks like they're really trying to play up the 90s angle.
I think it's funny because when you were a kid, how many of you people would have loved to have been in a commercial or a video where you were running with Sonic the Hedgehog?
Not me.
I'm just saying a lot of people would have. Not me either. I wasn't really a gamer then, but I'm just saying.
There are a lot of adults on DeviantArt that would love to be running with Sonic the Hedgehog. They draw themselves and write about themselves running with Sonic the Hedgehog.
I'm sure there's a lot of I'm sure there's a lot of fan fiction out there.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people running with Sonic in their minds.
So. Hey, I just want to do well only because I want to point out that that's a lovely picture of
Jim Carrey.
I just want to when you listen to the fans and you make changes and you don't sit there and call them names, you might get support.
You might. Now, what's going to happen is we're going to have people come back and be like, look, if the movie doesn't do that well, they're going to be like, don't listen to the fans, they don't know what they're talking about. Or they'll bring up The Rise of Skywalker and be like, look, they canceled out The Last Jedi and people still didn't come.
Yeah, but the difference was, with The Last Jedi, they already did so much damage, they couldn't undo it without making 2 movies, and they crammed it into 1, which made it worse.
Yeah.
There's a difference here. Like, they're undoing it before it's released, while you had time to go back and fix it. With Rise of Skywalker, there was no fixing that, short of erasing it completely and making 2 other movies. There just wasn't a fixing that.
Yeah,
there's a difference.
It was a Band-Aid on a gaping stab wound. I think at that
surgery
point.
At that point,
Yeah.
or turn back time and not be stabbed in the first place,
But this has, I mean, to me, this is like the most 90s thing ever. They got Jim Carrey. Now they got rap music, Sonic the Hedgehog. It's very 90s.
It's funny to me though because we were at Walmart just a little bit ago, and they have all these T-shirts in like the junior section, and they're all like Selena and Rugrats and all this 90s stuff on shirts. 'Cause I remember thinking, oh, what, is it the 90s now that's coming back? And then you just said this is a very 90s movie, and all the fashions were like neon colors.
Yeah, they're really bright.
Like that was more late 80s, early 90s, but it's all like this 90s wave coming in.
We're always like 20 or 30 years behind though, because you think about like in the 80s, I remember the 50s and the 60s were big. In the 90s, 70s clothes came back in the 90s, and now here we are. And the 80s have been done to death. So yeah, the next
now they're moving on to the 90s. Got to rape that now.
But the thing is once we get to the 2000s, there's no, like I said before, it feels like there's no unique look from like 2000 on. Like the 80s and the 90s had a unique look, but like somebody 10 years ago, they dress basically the same as they do now.
Yeah.
There really isn't a whole lot of distinction. So I think we kind of hit like peak pop culture leading up to 2000, then we just kind of flatlined.
This is why originality matters.
Yeah, because now everything's just reboots and sequels. So this explains, I think, a lot of the uptick in stuff like Power Rangers again, and Ninja Turtles again, and we're definitely getting heavy into 90s nostalgia now. So for those of you who grew up in the 80s and 90s, hey, this is going to be great. It's going to be your childhood.
Yeah, there you go.
Again. It's going to be your childhood all over again, or you're going to watch your childhood get brutally beaten in front of you.
Well, we've already been getting our childhood beaten in front of us, so.
Yeah, but at least, I mean, this looks like they're on the right track, though, anyway, for Sonic. We'll see what happens, I would recommend, if you want to see more positive changes done to franchises with an existing fan base, go out and support this movie.
Yeah, I would. I mean, just because that's what their numbers are. It'd be funny if what their estimates were ended up being a lot higher. And it would send a message, so.
All right, guys, so we're going to wrap this one up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, and we'll talk later.
Bye.
Hey, guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.